The market dynamics indicator is a combination of two powerful multi-indicator toolkits merged into one. We combined our popular chart patterns algorithm with our smart money concepts toolkit to give our users a more streamlined and compact experience. Additionally, we added some new cutting-edge features that I'm excited to go over in depth today. You'll notice that this new feature-packed toolkit has a heavy focus on price action concepts. Order blocks. This feature is used to locate areas where big institutional players have placed sizable orders, otherwise known as order blocks. These institutional order blocks will mark areas that have a high probability of reversal. Our algorithm will identify these areas and display the amount of liquidity within each order block. The volume will update in real time as price enters each block and removes liquidity. Each block will display its liquidity level. They're displayed as low, medium, high, and very high levels of liquidity. These levels are based on the average order block liquidity size for the given asset you are trading. This feature will turn order blocks into breaker blocks if price breaks through them and liquidity is still remaining. These breaker blocks tend to act as magnets, attracting the price back to the order blocks to suck out the remaining liquidity before reversing again. In this section, you'll be able to choose between a variety of patterns, those of which include head and shoulders, double bottoms, broadening wedges, and triangles. The first dropdown will change how patterns are drawn on your charts. The wick setting will draw patterns based off of candle wicks, and the body setting will draw patterns based off of candle bodies. The second dropdown will allow you to choose from two different breakout target algorithms. Smart Targets is a dynamic algorithm that will set the most likely breakout target by analyzing volume, volatility, and a handful of other metrics. The second option, Measured Move, will automatically display the standard measured move of the breakout target for the current pattern. These breakout targets will not occur until the breakout has been confirmed. Once the breakout target has been hit, a check mark will appear and the breakout target line will stop printing. If the breakout target has failed, the algorithm will recognize this and produce an X next to the breakout target. The number generated next to the breakout target represents the amount of volume produced by each breakout, 1 being the lowest and 3 being the highest. The maximum pattern setting will choose the amount of patterns to appear on your chart at the same time. Keep in mind, this setting will only affect broadening wedges and triangles, that of which include falling and rising wedges, ascending triangles, descending triangles, and symmetrical triangles. Simply check the box of the pattern you would like to see, and the pattern detection algorithm will automatically find the patterns for you. Lastly, the X symbol that populates along with triangle and broadening wedge patterns will indicate when price action has officially broken out of the pattern. This feature is designed to avoid false breakouts and will populate when the pattern has been broken with certainty. Swing fill patterns are a popular smart money concept that indicate a quick liquidity grab before a strong price reversal. Grab the liquidity and reverse in direction. These are very powerful patterns, but they can many times give false signals. So we have implemented an algorithm to filter out the low potential swing fail patterns, leaving you only with the high probability patterns. Multi-timeframe graded support and resistance is an amazing feature that you can use to quickly find the most important levels on your chart. The multi-timeframe feature allows you to pull support and resistances from multiple different time frames onto one chart. This is excellent if you are on lower time frame charts and want to watch out for more significant higher time frame supports and resistances. Conversely, if you're on higher time frames and you want to find good take profit points that wouldn't be visible on higher time frames, you can use lower time frame supports and resistances to do so. Not only is this support and resistance indicator multi-time frame, but it also grades each support and resistance based on its strength. 1 being the strongest, which is represented by a dashed line, and 10 being the weakest. The first dropdown will determine the range in which the algorithm is looking for supports and resistances. Local mode is the shortest range, and macro is the biggest, encompassing the entirety of the chart since the very beginning. Macro mode is great for finding those long-term, very reliable supports and resistances. But keep in mind, they are less actionable since they will be much more sparsely populated than if you were to use local mode, for example. You'll be able to choose the time frame of the given resistance in the second dropdown. And in the third dropdown, you'll be able to filter how many supports and resistances you would like to show on your screen. If you want to clean up your charts, you can drop down to a lower number and show the top 5 strongest supports and resistances, for example. The filter will remove the weakest supports and resistances depending on the number you choose. For a more in-depth video on how to incorporate this powerful indicator into your strategy, check out the link above. Moving on to predictive ranges. This feature will calculate the most probable trading range depending on the price action. After the range is determined, it will split the range into sections. Each section provides traders with a very reliable trading range. We have also recently added a new multi-time frame feature similar to our multi-time frame graded support and resistance indicator. This feature will display predictive ranges from higher or lower time frames on your current time frame. Trend lines are a simple yet powerful feature that will display two trend lines on a chart, allowing you to clearly see areas of support and resistance. Simply choose a size setting in the dropdown to choose how far back you want the trend lines to extend. These trend lines dynamically adapt to price action and will draw new trend lines as price progresses. Premium and discount zones. This feature will automatically identify zones in which the price of an asset is considered to be expensive or premium. This feature will automatically identify zones of price of a given asset. When the asset is considered to be expensive, it will be in the premium zone. When the asset is considered fair price, it will be in the equilibrium zone. And when it is considered inexpensive, it will be in the discount zone. This is a very straightforward feature that can paint a clear and easy to understand picture whether a particular asset is at optimal levels for a short or a long. The last feature in this toolkit will show you significant swing highs and significant swing lows. Simply adjust the number up or down to modify its sensitivity. These lines mark important levels to watch for when entering any trade. Depending whether these lines are held or broken will have heavy implications on the current trend of any asset. That concludes our tutorial on the market dynamics indicator. Stay tuned for more tutorials and strategies on the new Chart Prime Pro trading suite.